What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Blue and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And today I'm continuing my virtual pilot career. Well, it's still the beginning and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is Simbit World, a pilot's life. And just as a quick overview, before we start our flight, this is a third-party application that allows you to progress from the perspective of a pilot. You start off as a low-ranked, unemployed pilot with no experience, which leaves you with very few options as far as airlines willing to hire you. But as you fly, you gain experience and the bigger airlines will start to consider you. Pretty cool concept. As you can see, I am employed by Ryanair UK trying to build up my flight experience, so hopefully I can move up to a bigger, better airline later. Currently, I'm just a junior first officer. My rating's only 92. I haven't done a whole lot of flights, only 5 flights so far, so I'm trying to continue this. I got $2,000 in the bank account. My hourly wage here at Ryanair is $18, and that varies from airline to airline. So every airline is willing to pay you a different amount. I think it's per week, depending on how many flights you do. And there's different conditions to the contract. So next up, if I go to my schedule, it does generate a schedule for you. Each time you finish the schedule, you get a new one. Currently, my next leg is Ryanair UK Flight 4370 from Manchester to Seville. So that's what we're doing today. So let's hop in the cockpit and get started. All right, we're in the flight deck of the 737-800 by PMDG. Let's start off by turning on our battery. All right, that's on. We'll get our emergency lights armed. Beautiful. And we're gonna go down to our FMC real quickly. Into FS Actions, Ground Services, and we'll get our ground power requested. So that way we're gonna have some GPU power. While waiting for that, we'll get the logo lights and make sure that the steady nav lights are on. There is the blue light air ground power. We now have ground power connected. We can use that. Beautiful. Now we have power to the aircraft. We're also gonna go up to here and hit the window heat. All 4 of those switches there, and we'll also we'll hit that later. Let's go up to the top, way up, and get our IRS aligned. So I'll put that into heading, and then align, nav. Oops, a little too far. And back down to our FMS. And we also have a bit of a treat today. We're using the Cockpit Masters 737 CDU. Now this is a direct replica of the 737 FMS. It's a 1-to-1 scale, and I pretty much cannot go back to not using it. I wish I had it for more types of aircraft, but sadly this one only works for the 737. So I'm going to go over to the menu, go to FMC again. We'll go to position initialization, and we're going to go and clear that out. We'll go to the next page. We'll grab the IRS or the GPS location of the left FMS and paste it right there. We're also going to put in the Echo Golf Charlie, which is Manchester, and that's it. Now we go over to routes, and we'll drop in Manchester in the origin, and we're going to grab Lima Echo Zulu Lima in our destination. That is Seville, Spain, for our flight today. And before we do our flight plan, I'm actually going to back out of the FMC, and we're going to call up Manchester Clearance Delivery to get our ATC clearance to Seville. 1217. Manchester delivery, BlueMax 116 at stand 49, looking for IFR to Seville.
BlueMax 116, Manchester delivery, good afternoon. Current request, stand by, please.
Copy.
Okay, Romeo Uniform Kilo BlueMax 116, cleared to Lima Echo Zulu Lima Airport. That's 1 Romeo, squawk code is 1141.
Alright, cleared to Seville via the Cuxum departure, squawking 1141 and BlueMax 116.
BlueMax 116, your back is correct. Monitor Unicom, once just light. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Alright, thanks for the clearance. Have a great night. Alright, easy enough. We got exactly what we filed for, which is, I always love getting what I filed for. So back into our FMS, we'll jump back down here, and nothing really changed. So he gave us exactly what we asked for. So I'm gonna go into departure arrival, and we'll set up our flight plan. And to do that, we'll hit the left tank there, and we'll click down on the APU starter. And that's going to start up. We'll see the blue light come on underneath the APU gen. We'll pop that on, get the packs on, get the APU bleed on, And while we're waiting for that, we can also set our pressurization altitude. It's auto, obviously going to be auto, but we're cruising at 34,000 feet. So I'm going to set 34,000 feet for our flight altitude, and our landing altitude over in Seville, Spain is going to be just 100 feet. All right, there's the blue light, pop and pop. That's what I like to see. APU bleeds coming on, packs coming on, trim air is on, recirculation fans already on, bleeds are all good, isolation valve fan is on. And since we're basically ready to push, we'll hit the I'll turn all the fuel pumps on. I think we have a little bit of fuel in the center tank, but we'll use that later. Smoking signs on, seatbelt signs to auto, and we are just about ready to push. We'll also turn our flight directors on, left and right. Again, 153, 152 actually. That's gonna go here in our speed, and again cruising at 32,000 feet, 34,000 feet. He did give us a squawk code, and that squawk code was 1141. And the winds here in Manchester are 130 at 5 knots. Visibility is pretty good. Temperature is 14, dew point 10. QNH is 1006. We'll drop that right here. QNH 1006. Very nice. And we'll slide over here. We'll get some lighting in here in the panel. On the left and on the right. All right, beacon light on. We are all ready to push.
Echo India Kilo no.
All right, shocks are removed, brakes released to the push to the right. And looks like we have an all-female ramp crew downstairs today, which is pretty cool. Salute to them. All right, we are now pushing. Let's go ahead and get started with the engine. Start with engine number 2. We'll hit that over to ground. Actually, packs off first, and then switch the engine number 2 over to ground. And we'll start watching that spool up. Take a listen. And introducing fuel on engine number 2.
Jersey Freight 31, Juliet Echo now. I will be passing BMU, we'll be going to stand 18.
Alright, engine is still firing up. You can see she's now going to go down there and disconnect our nose wheel from the pushback tug and show us the red remove before flight flag. Go ahead and turn our TCAS on. And looks like we have a good engine start on engine 2, starting engine 1. And it also looks like we have another Ryanair pushback here in a second. Alright, there goes the pushback tug from Swissport. And we'll introduce fuel into engine number 1. There it is. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Alright, engine's still finishing, spooling up. They're almost done, and we're almost ready to get out of here. One more look at the overhead. As soon as that engine is stable, looks like it is pretty stable enough for me. We'll pop the gens left and gens on the right on. Well, turn the yaw damper on, probe heat on, hydraulics are going to come on. As well as we are going to flip the packs back on, turn off the APU bleed, and turn off the APU. You can hear the air now coming through the cockpit. It's also going through the cabin, cooling off our passengers. And we'll also set the flaps. And speaking of flaps, I have a really cool throttle mod for the Honeycomb Bravo. My flap lever from Sim actually lifts up and down and has the detent for the 737. So I can flip it up and bring it down to flaps 15 or wherever I need it to be. So very cool, very neat way they've done that. Alright, flaps are set. We are ready to taxi. Looks like there is no tower or ground frequency here in Manchester, but there is a decent amount of traffic, so we are going to have to watch out for that. We're currently at gate 49, taxiing to 23 right, so basically we're just going to turn around, make a left onto Juliet, and taxi our way to 23 right. So let's just watch the traffic around us.
The wide body by Barrick.
Release the brake. Taxi lights on, and we'll also do a quick flight control check. Yep, everything's working. Our speed brakes are also working. Manchester traffic. BlueMax 16 is now lining up on runway 23 right. Manchester. All right, let's get ready for takeoff. So landing lights on. Wing well on. Strobes on.
23 right is for takeoff, not 23 left now.
It is today.
Okay, thank you.
And I think in real life they do it the other way around, I believe, but I mean there's no ATC controlling the runways, so we do what we want to do out here. Alright, we're clear on the left. As we turn around, we'll see if we're clear on the right, but we are clear on the left. Nobody landing right now. Look at that beautiful reflection of the sun setting, and you can actually see the runway elevation there as it climbs up. Nice roll and start. Stabilize 1 and 2. Toga.
Airspeed alive.
Chrono. Manchester. BlueMax 116 taking off runway 23 right, departing to the south. Manchester.
E1. Rotate. E2.
Bit of wind there. Alright, for some reason auto throttle unarmed itself, so we're gonna return that back on, get LNAV armed up and VNAV armed up, follow the flight director on the way out of here for our departure out of Manchester. I still have the controls, and we should have flew runway heading a bit, so we'll just go back and re-intercept our departure course. I'm gonna call it airborne. Manchester traffic. BlueMax 16 now airborne, passing 2000, departing to the south. Manchester. Last car. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can fly this departure by hand. At least up to 10,000 feet. We're doing 197. You can see off our nose, there's some rain clouds over there. We'll definitely be flying through the clouds to get to our cruise level, 34,000 feet. Coming to 5,000 now, which I think is transition altitude. Standard, left and right. And flaps up. Alright, that's far enough. Autopilot on. We're still passing 7,000, 8,000 feet now. It's basically a straight line from here, so we'll let autopilot have the fun and we'll enjoy the view. Alright, and there is 10,000 feet. We'll go with our landing lights off. And we'll turn all the exterior lights off except for the strobes and the beacon. Don't really need the logo, but we'll leave it on. Make sure our seatbelt signs are actually on. And let the cabin crew know that they can go and do their thing in the back while we're climbing out. It should be pretty smooth for the most part. If we go down to our FMC, it'll show us how far we are from our top of climb. So we are 90 miles away from 34,000 feet. And we should be there at 1423 Zulu. So it's not too far out at all.
Nordic 35 Bravo, report the heading to London Control 127-1.
Report heading to London Control 127.1, bye-bye.
Alright, we've made it to our cruise of 34,000 feet. And we have about 783 miles from our top of descent. Again, this is about 2.5 hour flight today down to Spain. I would like to say it's a beautiful flight, but as you can see, we're surrounded by clouds. And it might be like this, at least we get over like France. It's gonna be like this for wow, that moon over there looks really good though, look at that. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, we're just barely above the clouds, basically cloud surfing up here. And I mean, they look so fluffy though. It was really beautiful flying through the clouds, coming out, that breakout was really nice. So should be pretty chill flight, pretty relaxing. We're getting a few, you know, slight bumps here and there, but I think you guys will be all right. We'll turn off the seatbelt signs for you guys to do what you gotta do back there. But yeah, I'll check in a little later. Enjoy the view for now. Just checking in. We're still cruising at 34,000 feet. If you look down below us out of your right seat, those are the mountains of northern Spain over by Cantabria. We were over the water for a decent amount of time, going from I think it was France and over the water a bit, and now we're just crossing into the land again over Spain. I absolutely love flying into Spain, over Spain, out of Spain. Spain is just such a gorgeous country. It really is. So is Portugal. I definitely love flying out here. But we're about 45 minutes out from our final stop and about 250 miles from our top of descent. But just really enjoying the view out here of northern Spain. And it's just, it's just so nice. It's just so nice out here. And while we're appreciating the scenery up here in northern Spain, I did want to ask a question, and so please, if you have any feedback, feel free to drop it in the comments or hit me up on Discord or Instagram, however whatever is easier for you. But I had a question because of this virtual pilot career that I'm doing here with A Pilot's Life. I could easily make this into a series of videos. This would be part 1, but if you would like to follow along with my progress through the pilot career series, we could do that, but I would just need to know from you if that's something you would like to follow up on, because as I said, as we progress, I would like to kind of build up my hours with Ryanair, UK, and then work my way up to another airline. The cool thing about Simbit World of Pilot's Life is that, you know, it's a bit different than just flying for a typical virtual airline. You know, with a virtual airline, you already like work for like Ryanair Virtual, for example, and you're pretty much only gonna fly Ryanair Virtual. I mean, you could probably, you know, do code shares with other, you know, partner companies, which is fun too, but you always pretty much stick with the same airline throughout the whole way. With Pilot's Life, the way that works instead is you're a pilot, and it's up to you where your career goes. So again, you know, my goal honestly is to work with an airline in the United States, because that's where I'm from, that's what I'm familiar with. And sadly, I was not able to get hired by any of those companies because I just don't have enough experience. I don't have a high enough rank. So I found Ryanair UK. That was the most interesting to me. They have some pretty good routes, actually. You know, they fly the types of aircrafts that I like, and I do like their routes a lot. And honestly, I really enjoyed flying Ryanair. Flying to some cities I've never been to, like the one we're going to today. I've actually never flown there before, so this is a completely new experience for me, and it's taken to me a lot of other places. And that's one thing I like about career mode style applications and things like this, is that they allow you and encourage you and inspire you to fly to places that you wouldn't typically ever think to go to. Matter of fact, I've never even heard of this city before. I say I love Spain, but I pretty much only fly to Madrid and Barcelona, like that's it. And so because this is a real world Ryanair operation, a Ryanair UK operation, it's a part of this particular airline. So when I leave here, I could, you know, go to somewhere like a Delta or American, or maybe I want to, you know, continue to fly out here in Europe. I could go fly with EasyJet. The downside to that is they only have A320s, right? So I'm probably going to try to find an airline that has a variety of aircraft types and a good variety of routes as well. You know, long haul, short hauls, whichever you're into is best to find an airline that you like the routes. And so most of the routes that I've done with Ryanair UK are about an hour to 3 hours long. So not too bad, but I like it. I've enjoyed flying it. I know what Ryanair themselves have quite the reputation, and I'm probably the best pilot to fit that reputation when it comes to landings, but I really do enjoy flying it. I've always actually, you know, liked their liveries, and I've never had anything against Ryanair. I've never flown them with them in real life, but never had anything against it. But anyways, the point is, please let me know in the comments if you would like to see this in or as a series. If I don't hear any feedback from you guys, I'm just gonna assume that you're like, I don't really care too much about it, and I'll just continue to move on and make other types of content and videos. But this is the perfect type of thing where we could build a series. I mean, I don't know how far we could go. It could be a 10-part series, who knows, where I would pick up where I left off. We could do it that way, so I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm still gonna be doing these routes on my own, whether it's a series or not. So it's like I'm still gonna be flying these routes for the airline. It's just, you know, a question if I'm gonna hit record or not. So let me know in the comments. That feedback will be super helpful. And also, I would also love to get some feedback as well from you guys about how do you feel about these flight sim videos in general. You know, I'm doing a lot of different types of content lately, like train sim, flight sim streams, but now kind of transitioning into posting flight sim videos as well. There'll be much more reviews and things like that upcoming, but it's something I'm trying to continue to bring content to the channel. I enjoy doing these flights, and I enjoy making these videos, so hopefully you guys enjoy watching them. Do my best to make them as visually pleasing as possible, and we've finally gotten away from that high overcast clouds. One thing that's really interesting too, before I let you guys go, before we get to our approach, is we took off completely overcast skies over in England, and then it kind of got, you know, partly cloudy to almost clear skies over the ocean for a bit, and then it got, you know, overcast again, and now we're seeing again partly cloudy skies. So it's really interesting when you do these longer flights where you get to see different weather situations around. You know, it's very cool. One of my favorite things about Microsoft Flight Sim, as you guys know, is the weather. So again, 2.5 hour flight is our total flight time here from Manchester to Sevilla. I hope I'm saying that right. Down in Spain. But really looking forward to seeing how the scene looks like down there. It's all the way down to the south of Spain. So I'll see you guys there. Enjoy the ride. All right, we are descending. Here is our chart. We're descending via the Hinojosa 4 Echo. I probably said that wrong. Via HIJ, we're currently passing Pakis and headed this way. We should be making a right turn after Reuven, over here to the north as we approach for ILS Zulu 27, which is actually pretty cool. It starts off here, has a bit of a DME arc on for basically a right to the left, and then a right turn onto final for 27. So it'll be pretty interesting and really cool approach, I think. So looking forward to that. Once we get down on the ground on 27, we'll exit the runway to the right, and we'll try to find where to park. I've never been here before, so it says general aviation here, but it's gotta be somewhere. I'm assuming we can park here somewhere, so we'll see. Also, we'll go ahead and hit the seatbelt signs, as well as go ahead and get the landing lights on. Simbit World of Pilot's Life does actually judge you by whether or not you turn the landing lights on or off around 10,000 feet. Judges you by a lot of different little factors. You can actually look at the final pilot report after the flight is over. If we look down here though, and we'll see our flight. So as you saw in the chart, a second ago, it's gonna have us make a right turn, and then a left turn, and then another right turn for a right base leg into Sevilla. I already have the course set for 271, as well as the ILS, which is on 110.1 for our frequency, and there is no ATC there, so we're on 22.8. So we'll be announcing our intentions on Unicom, and you see the aircraft is slowing down now that we're going down below 10,000. We need to get down about 2,000 feet when we get out of the S, so hopefully VNAV will take us all the way down there. So far, VNAV's been working really well, as it has been in the PMDG 737 for a while now. So we may need to do some speed breaks here or there, but I'm expecting this to go pretty good. So we could actually set our auto brake to 3, since I'm not familiar with this place, just to be safe. But other than that, it should be not too difficult of a flight. Weather's not too bad. Matter of fact, the weather right now is 140 at 2 knots Cavic, which means basically clear-ish. And then temperature's 19, dew point 15, QNH is 1020. That's already plugged in as well. So we're almost done with our flight. We are almost there. Man, I really do love these DME arc approaches, at least for the autopilot. It's not the easiest thing to fly by hand, but I do like it when autopilot flies it correctly. So we're still descending past 5,000 feet on a right base for Sevilla. Let's go ahead and call it in. Sevilla traffic, Blue Max 116 is on a right base, runway 27. Alright, let's get nice and slow. VNAV is still taking control of the speed, but I want to be a bit slower than we are. I'm going to do speed intervention. We'll slow down. Since I'm unfamiliar with the area, I'm going to get nice and slow, nice and early. I'm going to bring the speed brakes out. Turn final. Alright, we're going to roll out, and I have a visual of the runway right off our nose there. We're about 3,000 feet, and the good news is we are still below the glide slope. Let's hit the approach mode. And we got single channel on there, DME 11 miles, Sevilla traffic, Blue Max 116, now 10 mile final runway 27 on the ILS, Sevilla. I'm gonna be so upset if I've been pronouncing that wrong the whole time. Alright, let's start bringing in some flaps. And we'll continue to slow down. Here comes 180. Our final approach speed is gonna be 146. Oh yeah, look at that, really nice sunset there. And bringing us flaps down as well. We're 7 miles out. Let's go ahead and bring the gear down. Sevilla traffic, Blue Max 116, now 5 mile final runway 27, Sevilla. Now remember, since we're doing a pilot career, our landing rate really does matter and can be the deciding factor on whether or not we get future contracts and future jobs. So it's important to get the smoothest land I can here into Sevilla. We're all pretty much good now. We'll go down to 146 here, and we'll bring our flaps to 30. Very nice, clear day. We'll arm our spoilers. There we go. And since we got a good visual, we'll go ahead and kill the autopilot, and we'll take over from here. And auto throttle off. Alright, my aircraft. Alright, 2 white, 2 red on both sides. Got some power lines down there, very cool. Alright, a little low now. Oh man, look at these trees and the sun, just a great combination. Alright, coming in a little high now. Keep our angle of attack, bring our speed back. Oh yeah. Bit high, it's gonna be a long landing, it's alright.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And we're down. Here's the nose. Alright, so I'm assuming we do park over here. This looks kind of like a terminal area. Has a bunch of really big stairways. Also, it seems like this scenery is... the elevation must be off or something because everything is floating. This is a new scenery for me, so I don't know. Sevilla. Yeah, probably saying it wrong. There's some jetways over there. We'll see if we can pull to jetway. But yeah, this something is definitely not 100% legit with the scenery. But hey, won't be here for long. We'll turn around. I think our next leg goes back to Manchester. I'm not sure. I have to check and see what's on our itinerary. I'm making a left right here. Yeah, we're gonna take one of the hard stands because these buildings look really unlegit. I'm just gonna park over here. We're gonna park right here. I'm just gonna assume this is right. Well, anyways, guys, welcome to Sevilla, Spain. Thanks for flying along. Okay, before we go, I got good news and bad news. Good news is we got here safe. The bad news is I completely forgot to log my flight. Yeah, this whole flight was supposed to be my virtual pilot career, and guess what I forgot? The virtual pilot career flight log tracker thing. I will show you very quickly on our screen what it looks like after you log a flight. So I'll use one of my previous flights as an example. So go to my logbook. You'll see I've only done a few flights. This was supposed to be flight number 6. If I go to my previous flight from, you'll see in the flight report, it actually shows you a lot of details. I'm not gonna stay here very long. If you wanna know more and go into the details of this, you can pause the video and read through every single one. But as you can see, it judges you on everything. Max pitch angle, navigation lights on or off, whether you turn them on or not, the max ground speed for going over 30 knots, having your takeoff and landing lights on, initial climb if you retracted your gear, if you pause during the cruise, like a lot of different things you can actually fail, and that'll hurt your final score, and all that adds up to your final XP, including your landing and time and things like that. All that comes together to equal a certain amount of XP. And again, as you gain XP, you can actually go to the job market and actually try and apply at multiple airlines. Tons of airlines in here you can apply at. You can obviously filter it by the country. But yeah, if you're interested in it, try it out. Sadly, it's not a free add-on. I've enjoyed using it. I've definitely got my money's worth out of it. But so if you think you're gonna, dedicate a lot of time to it, it's definitely worth it. But if you're only gonna do 1 or 2 flights here and there, it's definitely not worth it. Another cool thing though is the community tab. I'm not gonna go to it right now, but it has leaderboards. You can see who's making the most virtual money, who's has the highest rating, who has the best landing rate, all that kind of stuff if you're competitive. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, you have 3 choices. Give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. If you're interested in the 37 FMS or the 737 throttle add-on, you can check out those links in the descriptions. I may have a few discount codes for you as well, so check it out. See ya.